Welcome back. I'm Mindy Turner with the Cooperative Extension Service in Curry County. We're part of New Mexico State University, bringing the university research-based information to you. I'm your Family and Consumer Science Agent here in Curry County, and today we're wrapping up, actually, our four-part series on low-stress gifting. We've talked about some ideas for memorial gifts to help people who may be hurting a little bit from loss and how to help encourage them. We've talked about some ideas for things to engage kids in getting them a little more active and doing something away from the computer for a little while. We've talked about being grateful and providing thankful gifts to teachers and caregivers and essential workers and people that have had an impact on our life. Now we're going to talk a little bit about some of that encouragement that we can pass along for the holiday season, and specifically related to Christmas at a low cost to us, but something that can be encouraging and heartfelt that we can share with neighbors. Again, maybe it's for teachers, maybe it's for those essential workers, your delivery people who are bringing stuff to your house, your office mates, all of those people who have some type of an impact on our life throughout the year. This is an awesome time to start showing them how much we care. When we are down, when we are stressed, when we are worried, one of the best things we can do is encourage others to get out there, make a difference. And that's part of what we want to do. Some of us are really strapped, we're hurting right now for money. These are things that we can do at a low cost or a no cost, depending on what you have in your home, what you've picked up along the way. And they're all very simple. We've talked about, adding a cute tag to a lot of things, to $1 something gives it that step up, that you've really thought about it, that you've put the time and the effort in to just recognize this person. And so at Christmas, we definitely want to do that for others. So I'm going to show you some very simple things that you can put together easily in order to do that. So to start off with, one of the things that I really like, I always save my Christmas cards. I love photo cards. I love all the cards with the different scenes on them. But then what do you do with them? So here's a way that you can recycle some of your Christmas cards that you have from the past. Or if you don't have those, if maybe you're not a saver, you don't keep them, you can pick up really nice packets of cards, sometimes assorted. These happen to all be Santa, but there's 14 cards in this pack for $1. So that will make a lot of little crafts out of 14 Christmas cards. So a couple of the things I have for you that are very simple to put together. The first one is just a Christmas cone. Okay? And so this is regular scrapbook paper. It's red. You could also just use regular paper or cardstock, whatever you want to do. And you just take it. This was one 12 by 12 piece of scrapbook paper. But again, regular paper will work just fine. And you're going to have to play with it to kind of make your cone the size and the shape you want, but you basically just roll it at an angle, pull it up, finish it off. Think about what you might want to put in it, because that's going to affect how big it needs to be, as well as how much open you can leave at the bottom. Okay, so when you get your cone, you can staple it, you can tape it. If you're one of those that doesn't want it to show, we've talked several times about double-sided tape or using these really simple little sticky tabs that can hold things together that you can use to make your cone. So once you get it together and you've sealed it, then you just pick whatever piece, whatever scene you want from a Christmas card. Okay, you can see this one has the cardinals on it. It was half of a card. So now I actually have a part of a scene on the top part that I could use to make another one if I wanted to cut it out differently. And then just toss in whatever you want. Again, think about how big the hole is on the bottom is going to affect what you can put in there that's not going to fall out. So I'm just going to add some fluffy mints to this. You could add a couple of poinsettias if you wanted to just put some live flowers. I'm trying to turn that where you guys can see. Okay, very simple, very inexpensive. Looks a little fancy, okay, can really let somebody know, hey, I'm thinking of you, I wanted to recognize you. You can also, if you wanted, again, treat bags, the birthday party treat bags that you would use, or just regular old with the zipper at the top bags that you purchase at the grocery store, that you could put the bag in there first or fill it up with the candy and then drop it in the cone, tie it off with a ribbon. that'll work too. Depending on where you're delivering it to and dropping it, make sure your stuff doesn't spill out of your cone. Another thing that's a great way to recycle your Christmas cards, this is just a regular old mason jar. Okay, I have taken a card, you can see, I just took the front off of it. Now these cards actually are some that I got free in the mail as part of an ad, as an advertisement, so I'm reusing those. Roll it around, pop it in the jar. So now instead of just a plain old jar, which we all love, I love jars, I love to fill them with stuff, but now it has this lovely Christmas scene on it. Again, it would be great to fill with candy canes, put some big poinsettias, maybe some holly branches, some other type of flowers you wanted to put. These are just some Christmas lollipops I picked up. Again, very inexpensive that you could fill it up with. And then again, depending on how you fill it and what you want to use it for, you can put the top on it and deliver it, or you can deliver it just like this as the jar with the card on it. So then another simple way that you can put something fun together, very inexpensive. This is a Christmas, just regular old dish towel, a solid dish towel. And then I found these, it's a bamboo spoon and a bamboo slotted spoon. These actually came in packages. I think there were like 6 or 8 of them for $3. And I took them apart to make multiple gifts. Okay, and so then what I've put on the front, on the sticker, it says, stir up some fun this holiday. And then you can put who it's from. It's in one of these very easy cellophane bags, tied around. This one happens to be tied with just some regular old jute cord. Okay, give it that little hometown feel. You could do this with just one towel. You could do this with just the towels, just the spoons. There's a lot of different ways you could pull this together. I like Christmassy stuff. A lot of times what I'll do, if I have the money and if I have a good place to store it, I will pick up Christmas clearance one year and then make gifts out of it the next year. Key things there, if you have the money and if you have a place to store it. Remember, just because something is on sale, it's not really a bargain unless it's something you already need. Then you have to remember that you bought it and that you have it for the next year and not go out and purchase something else. You have to use it to give as the gifts in order for it to mean anything. Okay, one of the things though that it's great to do that for is wrapping paper, particularly if you can look for wrapping paper that is more generic, not as Christmassy, that you can use all year long. And then when it gets really cheap after Christmas and it's on sale, you can pick that up. This is a very simple thing that you can put together. Again, it's great for neighbors, teachers, if you're working with a group, a club or another group organization that you're a part of. It's great for volunteers, very inexpensive. Okay, you can put this together for less than $5. You could do it for as little as $1, depending on how much you want to put into it. So what I have here, I have a roll of wrapping paper, I have a set of tags that came with the little bows, and then a roll of tape. So $3 worth of stuff. The tag on this one says, "We hope you're getting wrapped up in the spirit of the season." And you can put Merry Christmas, whatever your salutation happens to be that you like to use at this time of year, and put that on there. I've attached this one just with a pipe cleaner. You can tie it on with a fancy ribbon, however you want to hook it all together. Very simple, something easy to give. You could do just the roll of wrapping paper. You could do just the tape, just the tags, whichever piece you wanted to do. And again, something very inexpensive, but to let people know that you're thinking of them and maybe give them that little extra piece of encouragement. I had people tell me when we did this for teachers a couple years ago how much they appreciated it because they ran out of wrapping paper and then they remembered that they had the one we had given them. So you just never know what that little piece of encouragement's gonna be when you put things together like that. Very inexpensive, very good way to recognize people. So I have a couple others that I wanted to share with you. This one is really fun. Families with kids, it's great. They tend to really like this. Something simple. This is hot chocolate packets. I actually put 2 in this bag and folded it down. You can add little marshmallows. You can put a little candy cane in with it to kind of dress it up. Those types of things. And then it has the tag at the top that looks like the top hat. So you have your little snowman type. And then it says on here, warm wishes for a wonderful Christmas. Or you can put a wonderful holiday, depending on what maybe your neighbors celebrate different than you. But you still want to acknowledge them and give them something to thank them for being patient with you all year, if that's what you need from your neighbors. Very simple, easy to put together. And then finally, one of the cool things that I saw this year, this is new to me too, is making coasters. And what we're going to use to do that, we're going to use our Christmas cards again, but we're going to use the top off of this jar. So we've got the ring, okay, because it was a standard canning jar. So we've got the ring and the lid, and then we've got our Christmas card. So first we're going to take our Christmas card, we're going to pick which scene we want. You can see I've already done that, so I've already cut a hole. So I traced around our lid to make the circle the correct size. So see, it all fits together. And I've just got a little scene, it's horses pulling a carriage with some Christmas lights. So then you're going to take the ring and you're going to want to hot glue the lid to the inside so that it will stay together. Then we're going to put a little Mod Podge. If you don't use Mod Podge, you can do this. You can thin down some just regular old school glue or other products that do basically the same thing. The other way that I had seen this done is actually using resin, where you melt the resin and pour it in and let it level out and lay flat and dry clear. That's more complicated than what we're gonna do. What I'm talking about doing, simpler, very inexpensive kind of things that you can put together. So to do it, you're just gonna put a little bit of Mod Podge, put your card piece in, and then you want to Mod Podge over the top of it evenly, let it dry, probably then put another coat because you want to make sure it's got a good seal on it, because if you're going to set cups and things on top of it, then you don't want it to soak through and get your paper wet. So you want to seal that up good and tight, and then you're going to have a lovely Christmas coaster. Okay, you can put a ribbon around the outside, you can just leave it the 10, you can make sets if you wanted to. You can make a set of 4 to give to a family, or you could just give one as a nice special gift for someone, because coasters are always useful, they always come in handy, and now you can put it out as a special Christmas decoration. If you didn't want them to be specific to Christmas, you can always use a different pattern scrapbook paper to put together for that one. You are going to want to try to get the wide mouth jar lids so that a bigger cup, a bigger bottle would fit down into your coaster. We want you to have a wonderful holiday. There's been a lot of stress. It's been a lot to deal with this year. We know that we'll see changes again and have to deal with those. So finding ways that we can manage our stress by having a purpose, by looking for ways that we can encourage and share the blessings we do have with others, is a great way for us to move forward, to feel better about where we are and what we're doing. So remember, encourage each other, be kind to others, find ways to get out and serve the world. If you need help figuring out where you might be a good fit as a volunteer or donating items, get in touch with our office. We'd be glad to help you with that. Okay, as always, all of the projects we've shared today will have instructions in our newsletter that will be coming out. Actually, it's already out, but I'd be glad to send you one if you don't already get it. If you would like to go onto our website, curryextension.nmsu.edu, click on Family Health and Wellness. You'll be able to select the newsletter, choose if you would like to get that through email or hard copy in your mailbox. You can also submit questions directly to me related to anything Family and Consumer Sciences that we can then address and get back with you how you choose, if you would like us to call you or if you would like to receive an email. And as always, just call the office if you need something, if you would like to request anything. Remember, the publications we've highlighted for this season are one related to grandparenting and one related to strengthening families, things we would like to share with you. We're glad if you can't go on and print those off on your computer, we'd be glad to mail them to you. Just give us a call and we'll get you signed up for that. Thank you. Have a beautiful holiday and a happy new year.